is an organization based in Great Barrington in beautiful Berkshire County known as CATA, Community Access to the Arts. They have one of the most amazing mission statements I've ever read. I'll give it to you in part: to nurture and celebrate the creativity of people with disabilities through shared experiences in the visual and performing arts. Joining us today are Sandy Newman, the founder of Community Access to the Arts, and Margaret Keller. She is Executive Director since earlier this year at Community Access to the Arts, CATA. Thank you both for making the trip in from Great Barrington to be here. We're so appreciative of that. Sandy Newman, let me ask you, you were a dance therapist just across the state line in Columbia County at the Mental Health Association, and you were working with people with various disabilities. And where did the inspiration come from to now go that extra step and get them involved in the creative and performing arts?
Right. I think in my early years as a dancer, and then learning about dance therapy, and it felt like the perfect match for me. And when I was working with these people in Hudson, I used to bring them out to museums and cultural facilities and realized that I just wanted to get people more immersed in their community and be a part of their community with everybody else. And I read a book about vision in action, and I ended up going to a local art school in Stockbridge, which is now IS 183. It used to be the Interlaken School of Art. And I had also been consulting with Riverbrook, which is a residence in Stockbridge with many women with developmental disabilities. So I invited them out for a weaving workshop with a local artist, and that was our very first program. And from there, we kept growing and working with other faculty artists in the community in all the visual and performing arts. Mm-hmm. And so it started with that one series, and then I brought the children to the Stockbridge Elementary School, so the children got to know the women. And, the teachers began to see what their children were like with the women, totally non-judgmental, perceptive and engaged, and that was part of the wish to really honor and celebrate everybody for their abilities and talents. And the arts was a perfect way to do this.
I want to talk more about that in a minute, but I want to get Margaret Keller involved. You took over from Sandy Newman, the founding director at CATA, earlier this year. You serve 500 people with a wide variety of what are usually called disabilities. I don't know if you'd agree. I like to say differently abled people, and I think we all do. Talk about who's participating, the kind of folks who CATA serves.
Yes, absolutely, Jim. It's actually, we're proud to say, closer to 600 people with disabilities that are participating all across Berkshire County, south and north. Many of our participants have developmental disabilities. We also work with elders in nursing homes. We work with young people in the schools, particularly in the high schools, people who are also transitioning out of the school environment and into the larger community. But CATA, the kind of genius of CATA, is that we bring the arts to people with disabilities in so many different settings. We work in the residences, we work in day programs, we work in schools and in elder care facilities, as well as in our own studio space in Great Barrington. So we bring the arts to people. We have 21 faculty artists, faculty members, who teach workshops in every genre of the arts: dance, painting, drawing, theater, improv, juggling, you name it, drumming, singing. And then we bring the fruits of all of that work to the general public. So there is a way in which we serve 600 people with disabilities, but there's really a larger way in which we're serving the entire community by bringing the artistic creativity of people with disabilities back to the community through art shows, performances, and the like.
Sandy Newman, let me start with you on this one, but Margaret may well want to jump in. Going back to what you were saying, where the seed came from for this, with the folks you were working with, dance therapy, it wasn't all that long ago in that period when people might have said to you, is this a good idea going out in the community with folks who are in therapy? It can be bothering to them. It can be difficult for the people they deal with, the children. And you just didn't buy into that at all, did you?
No, it was just a natural process for me. And seeing what they could do. As I was saying, I tell this story when one of the women at Riverbrook, Carol, joined Dawn Lane, our program and artistic director, in the first week of dance. I said, "How did it go, Carol?" And she said, "I'm a great dancer, Sandy." And I said, "You absolutely are." And that was also the message, to let everybody know that they have talents and abilities and to honor themselves. And that's one of the gifts. As much as we serve these people, their gift to us with their voices and inspiration and talents is really quite something.
Margaret, it's all about breaking down barriers, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think that's what makes CATA such a dynamic and exciting organization, is that really behind all of this work is a strong mission for social change. It really is about, the point of all of this work is to share creativity with people with disabilities, but also, again, to bring that back to the community and to begin to address perceptions that people have about people with disabilities, to show their artistry, to show our common humanity and the many points of connection that we all share.
And these are people you're serving who a lot of times aren't included for one reason or another, or haven't been, huh?
I think traditionally, yes, that's been the case. I think that, society is changing, and there are more attempts at integration being made in other venues as well. But I think within our community, CATA has been a really important vehicle for that kind of integration and for changing hearts and minds.
Let me ask you I want to ask about some specific programs, the couple minutes we have left, because they're just fascinating, some of the things you're doing. And they're so intuitive. You look at it and you say, wow, why isn't everybody doing that? Why hasn't everybody thought of that? I love a thing called Cultural Access Passport Program. Talk about that, Sandy.
Yes, many years ago I went to, during the summer, because our workshops usually end in June, and asked them if they would be open to donating tickets to us to bring our CATA artists along with friends and supporters or board members or staff. And they all opened their doors and we started going, and it's been many, many years, so it's this incredible, wonderful opportunity that not everybody would have. It doesn't mean they might not go, but of coming together and other people like board members getting to know them personally in that way. So they're just like a new friend in the community.
And we're talking some of the real great performing names in the Berkshires. Berkshire Theater Group, Jacob's Pillow, Mahawi Performing Arts Center in Great Barrington, right?
Yes.
They're opening their doors and saying to people, yeah, come on in.
Every summer. It's wonderful.
Margaret, tell me about, and I just love this name, Arts In and Arts Out. What is that?
Yes, that's our core program. And all of the workshops that I spoke of. We have 1,000 workshops a year that take place through the Arts In and Arts Out program. And the name there really speaks to that twin mission that I was alluding to before. We're bringing the arts in to all of these organizations that serve people with disabilities, but then we're bringing the arts back out to the community to share the artistry.
Let me ask you, we have about a minute or so left. And the thing that again strikes me is literally performing arts. There are shows, there are programs. You said a person who found out they were a pretty good dancer. I mean, your folks are out there showing the community, look at who I am and look at what I can do.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, we have a program called Art on Tour where our visual art tours all around Berkshire County and beyond, so that people can see the works created in our visual arts workshops. That happens throughout the year. Every May we have our annual performance weekend at Shakespeare and Company. We're very grateful for that partnership, and it's a wonderful one where over the course of the weekend, 700 people see our artists performing on stage. And we have an annual art show that for the last couple of years has taken place at the Berkshire Museum, where our work is up for a month, filling the walls of the crane room for everyone to see.
Well, Sandy Newman, did you ever imagine 20-some years ago this is what it would be like a couple of decades down the road?
Not really. I just kept doing it.
Well, keep doing it. Margaret Keller, Sandy Newman, thanks for what you're doing with CATA. Thanks for coming, spending some time with us.
Thank you
so
Jim.
much.